Hey viewers, welcome back to your channel Stock Dr. RR. Last week we published 4 videos, 2 were on the index and 2 were on the stocks. And almost all stocks hit the levels which we mentioned, and we predicted well in advance that market is going to perform, and it actually worked accordingly. Yesterday I asked in one video, this video, and I mentioned that let me know which stocks you want me to analyze, and I will come back with my analysis. So today we are going to talk about all those stocks which you guys asked me on the video. And before you see this video, I would like you all to go through outlook of Nasdaq, Dow Jones and S&P 500 for 7th February 2022. I just published it some time back. You just watch that video and then come back on this video. So this is the list. I think it's almost 11 stocks which you guys asked me to analyze. I did technical analysis of that, and let me share the levels with you. So the first stock is Amazon. You all know that Amazon, on 4th of Feb, on the Friday, Amazon has its earning result, and uh, it gave a gap up opening, right? And it was almost 18% up, and then finally closed by 13.5% up. If you see here, there was a long-term trend line, and the resistance of this trend line is broke, but it has not broke with the very good bullish and Marubozu candle. It is kind of spinning top candle. Okay, but still I feel that the resistance is broke. Now how we will confirm that yes, this resistance got broke and it is not a false breakout? uh the Amazon stock should start trading and closing above 3200. Once it starts trading and closing above 3200, then it will open up the next target of 3300 and 3400. Okay, these are the two short-term targets. Now if we go and see the hourly chart, okay, in this hourly chart you can see, okay, here in this hourly chart, if you see, it has broken the trend line resistance on the hourly time frame. Okay, it broke that, okay, with very good volume, 4 continuous green volume, with very uh you can see the candles, the volume candles are big, means high volume happened. So that says that a lot of buying happened, that time. Now on the hourly time frame, uh Amazon needs to stay above 3100. Okay, if it's staying above 3100 on the hourly time frame, and once it starts trading above 3200, then it will open up the channel for 3300 and 3400. Once it start trading below 3100, then downside may prevail and it can come back toward 3000. And if it stays and sustain below 3000, then it can go back toward 2870 also. Okay, so these are the level for the Amazon. Next stock we will discuss, that is Chipotle Mexican Grill. Okay, for this stock we will not go for the hourly chart because it is not showing us good candles on the hourly chart, because uh, that stock is not traded on the higher volume, and that's why it is not showing us the clear candles on the hourly time frame. Now if you see here on the day time frame, okay, uh, the stock has a very good support around 1300 and 1320 is the support zone for this stock, this level, with these two lines. Okay, now what happened, the stock was in the big downtrend, and from there it created the bullish engulfing pattern. Okay, it created the first attempt here. Okay, then created the second attempt here, and then started going up from there. So ideally, if you ask me, this is the strongest support for the CMG. Okay, unless and until we are not breaking below it, the stock is in the uptrend. But once it breaks this level, then downside targets, it will open for the lower targets. Okay, and the lower targets are like, first target is 1170. Okay, 1170 is the first target, and then it can go back toward $1,000 also. Okay, if we talk about the upside, then the first target, it's almost 1560. Once it starts trading above 1560, then it can go back towards 1650 and 1750 also. So for this, indices should also support, they also should go up, so that stock can also go up. The next stock we have is Google. Google has had its earning last week, and you see it clearly. The last week on the earning day itself, it opened up with, like, it opened up at 3,000, and from there, 7.5% it was up. Then after that, it went down by 3% on the next candle, and on the Friday, it was the indecisive candle, right? Now, if you see it clearly here, Google has a resistance around this zone, right? This is nothing but 3,000. Okay. Now what happened here? This 3,000 zone is the resistance for Google. It opened on the after the earning, it opened at around 3026, but it didn't sustain above that, right? The candle is red. If it would have been a green candle, then we could have considered that the stock has broken its resistance, but it has not broken the resistance, right? It is trading below the resistance. Now if we see the hourly chart, just a moment. If we see the hourly chart for this stock, this is the hourly representation. Okay, so for this stock to you know go up more, it has to start trading above 2900. Okay, once it starts trading above 2900, then it can go up for 2965. Okay, first immediate short term target of 2964. Okay, and then it can go back toward uh, the all-time high. Okay, like 3000, and if it starts trading about 3000, then the stock might outperform from there. It will open, it will go into the uncharted territory, because we don't have the historical data for the value above 3000, because the 3000 was the all-time high for this stock, right? And if you see the weekly chart also, just a moment, weekly chart shows the strength in this stock. Weekly chart is showing the strength in the stock. Yeah, but if it starts closing above 2960, then it will outperform more from there. The next stock you asked is Mara. Okay, now for Mara, you can see here, this is the weekly representation, continuously downtrend. Okay, and if you see the day chart here, this stock has very good support near $19.50. Okay, unless and until this stock is about 19.50, the stock is in the safe zone. It has broken a trend line resistance, and once it starts trading about $24, okay, then high probability that it can go back toward $30, and then 35 and $40. Okay, it needs to stay above 23.5 to 24 zone. Okay, and very strong support near 19.50. The next stock we have is Netflix. We discussed Netflix in the last video, okay, last week video, and uh, before that also we discussed about that, and we felt that Netflix can, fill this gap. This gap was created on the earning day. The earning result was not good and stock opened with the gap down. And slowly stock started covering that gap. Now, if we check on the hourly time frame, so the stock is having this trend line support on the hourly time frame. Okay, and the stock has very good support between 385 to 380 zone. Unless and until it is not breaking 385 to 380 zone, it can be in the uptrend. If it starts trading below 380 zone, then it can open up the channel for 360, 341, and then below that also. Now, this stock, if it is not going below this right trend line support as well as the horizontal support, then high probability that stock can move like this. From here it can go back toward 440, 460, and once it's break this level, okay, then definitely it will go and fill the gap completely and it can go back toward 500 plus zones. Okay, so watch those levels. The next stock we have is service now. For the service now, if we see the day chart here and if we see the our weekly chart, then weekly chart you can see here the stock has very good trend line support here after a big downtrend. Okay, it created the bullish engulfing pattern, okay, with very good volume. Okay, and if we convert it into the day chart, okay, so currently it shows us clearly that the stock has a good support around 550 levels. Once it starts trading and closing below 550, then it can open up the level for 540 and 500. Okay, and then it can open up the level for 480 also. Now, this to for this stock to go up more from here, it needs to start trading and closing above $600. Once it starts trading and closing above $600, then it can go back towards 620 and then 660. These are the levels which I can see for this stock. The next stock we have is PayPal. PayPal, I am currently bullish on this PayPal because it got beaten down, right? After on the earning day, okay, after it declared its earning, it went down almost 25%. Okay, and on Thursday also it went down by 6%. On Friday, it was up by 1.5%. And interesting point here is uh, this is a kind of hammer pattern. Okay, and high probability that stock can go back toward the first target of 130, second target of 134, third target of 140, and if it starts trading above 140, then it is going to fill this gap of you know almost 155. So for PayPal, if you go on the hourly time frame, see, very nice pattern. You can see here, it just the stock is stock might pick up from here. See, from here it is creating this pattern. Lot of doji patterns here. You can see indecisive patterns. Right, means there was big tug of war between buyers and sellers. Right, with the heavy volumes here. Right, and it might touch this 130, 135, and 140. At least 140 it can touch and then again come back, right? Or it can break that 140 and go back toward 155, right? So for this stock, I can see the very strong support around 120 levels. If it starts trading below 120 levels, then it can go down more from here. Okay, so 120 is the LOC for this stock. Next stock we have is QQQ. QQQ, if we see here, this stock was trading very nicely in this range. right? Very nicely. This range got broke. So once it starts trading above 380, then it can come back into this range, okay, above 380, and then again it can go back toward 420. But let's see these levels in the hourly chart, right, for more clarity. On the hourly chart, just a moment. On the hourly chart, if I go here, change it to hourly. Okay. So on the hourly chart, it is taking this trend line support. Okay. And it shows me here that it needs to start trading and closing above 360. Okay. Once it starts trading and closing above 360, then it can go back toward 370, 377, and 390. If it stays below 360 continuously, then it can go back toward 340, sorry, 350, 340, and 330 also. Okay. So the next stock is SE. SE gave us a very good returns because we recommended it at 132 levels, right? And from 132 levels, it went back to almost 160, right? And then again corrected here and again trying to go up. So unless and until it is about 150, it can, reclaim 167 and then 181 also, right? If it starts trading below 150, okay, then it can go back toward 140, okay, 120 and 130 and 120. So for this stock, 120 is very good support. If it come here, okay, by going down here, then there is one buying opportunity might come, okay, for the higher targets. So this was the level for the SE. The next stock we have is SPY. For the SPY, if we see the day chart first here, then on the day chart you can see here, uh, the stock has the first support around 440 and second support around 425 on the closing basis. If we see the weekly chart here, weekly chart, you know, showing some strength, okay. And if we convert it into the hourly chart says that, okay, the stock can go down towards this, wedge patterns, base. And from here, if it breaks, then it can go back toward 100 and 440. So for this stock to, go up more, as I mentioned, 450, it should start trading and closing above that. Next stock we have is SQ. SQ we already recommended at 104 levels when it was trading around 104. I mentioned that SQ can go up from here because there was a lot of beating down happened when the PayPal result came out. The SQ also went down by almost 10%, 11%, 22% down. It was down. And what is the interesting pattern it has created currently? It has created almost kind of bullish engulfing pattern, not exactly bullish engulfing pattern, but kind of pattern. And here you can see that this stock has very strong support around $100. Okay, unless and until it is not trading below $100, I think that the stock can show some recovery, and that recovery can go back, 110 levels, 120 levels also. See, once it starts trading above 110, okay, it will immediately go back toward 150, then 120, and on trading and sustaining above 120, it might show more upside like 135 and 150 also. So I hope you guys have got some idea about the technical levels of all these stocks, right? uh, you can take your investment and trading decision with help of due diligence and position sizing, okay. um, and if you feel that this video helped you, then don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Okay, like the video, comment it, and uh, Share it with your friends and family members. And last but not least, let's learn and earn together. Thank you.